Hey guys, welcome to Business, Family, and Faith with the Montesinos on our fourth episode with you. And we'll be talking about 5 tips on a successful marriage. Stay tuned.
So welcome back, guys. Again, episode 4, we're going to share with you today those 5 tips to a successful marriage. Okay, we ourselves have been married now for 13 years, and we've been together for a total of 18. Okay, so I believe we have something, little something to be able to share with you on tips to keeping your marriage fresh and successful. And tip number 1, jumping right into it, is just that: finding something to keep your marriage fresh.
Yes.
Keep your marriage fresh. Okay. In our case, you know, we started off completely fresh to begin with because we were just kids dating at 17 and 15 years old, and when we finally got married at 21 and 19, you know what? We didn't no longer had curfew, so it was literally from a strictly kid managed dating life to a now a full grown adulthood independent
Yeah.
life that we lived. So that in itself was a change for us. So I get that doesn't apply to everyone, that maybe to the younger couples um, out there. But our next step that happened in our lives was, getting our first place. When we
Mm-hmm.
got married, we moved into our own apartment, and that itself is a big milestone. Is having your own place. So whatever your situation may be right now, maybe you are with family, or maybe you just you didn't get to get into your own place right away. I will tell you that is something that will rejuvenate your marriage, because it's a chance for you and your spouse to make it your home.
Yeah,
It's
create your own habits.
your own habits, decorate it the way you want, and find out your taste between one another. You're going to learn a lot from each other, how different you are, or similar. In our cases, opposites attract, and but we were, it that helped keep our marriage fresh. And when I say it keeps it fresh, it means, your conversations,
Yeah.
everything,
You have something new to talk about.
yeah, because when you get married, obviously, like everyone says, right, the cliche, it doesn't come with a handbook.
No.
So you don't know, so you don't realize how much time you spend with a person until you spend that time with the person.
Yeah.
Dating is one thing, right? You get together for a couple hours, you go, you have fun, and you talk about your week, your day, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go to your respective lives, to your homes, and you meet the next day or the next week. When you're married, you eat, sleep, wake up with that person.
Yes.
So it can get monotonous real quick. It can get into a really dead routine really quick. So it's important that you find things to keep your marriage fresh.
Yes.
Uh, things like vacations, things like taking trips. In our case, it is, we started a business early on in our marriage. That was a venture that we took on that took a lot of our time and a lot of our efforts that we both had to put in. And so our conversations, our days revolved around that, and it was something new, you know. And then came parenthood, or career changes, things of that nature. I'm not proposing that you do career changes, but those are things that help keep your marriage fresh and going. So find something in your life that will keep that marriage fresh, and it will rejuvenate it.
Yeah, it could even be just creating a new habit with each other that you probably don't do right now. If you're not a person that reads a book, maybe this year can be the year that y'all read a book together
Absolutely.
as a couple, whether it's a couple's devotion or it's just a book on marriage or educational wise that y'all can both look at together, or working
Attending
out.
church.
Yeah, attending church together or working
Yeah.
out or just creating one habit that I would say that you can say, you know what, this year we're going to do this together as a couple or as a
Right.
family. But primarily right now, we're going to be talking about marriage. So do something with your partner that's
Absolutely.
meant to bring some kind of change with you and your partner in a
Abs-
positive way.
Absolutely. And if you can keep your marriage happy, if you can keep your marriage successful, guess what? That rolls over into your other aspects of life. You know what? It's much easier to have a successful life and faith with a good spouse, with a good marriage. It is much easier. Not saying that it's impossible, but it's much easier to have success in business if you have a good marriage.
Yes, it bleeds out into everything else.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, that's not to say you can't do it without it, but it's so much easier and so much nicer to be able to share it with the one that you love.
Yes.
Okay. Tip number 2 is respect your spouse.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't tell you how many people don't follow this. You know why so many marriages fail. Um, we believe now, good Lord, the divorce rate in America now is almost 60%, and you know what? A lot of it has to do with the lack of respect for each other. First of all, respect each other as humans.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, they are a person. Okay, and you have to respect them as such. Secondly, respect them because they are the ones that put up with you. Okay? They're the ones that know all of your flaws. It's very different when you're living with someone than when you're just dating someone because then you begin to find out all of their flaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they leave their clothes all over the floor? Are they a clean person? Can they cook? Can they not cook? Are they picky eaters? All these things that you begin to find out of a person when you begin to share a life on a day-to-day basis. But you have to learn to respect each other. Remember, you can't expect that your spouse to be the way you want them to be in every aspect that you would like. It's a compromise and it's a change and it's a matter of respecting each other.
And the good thing is that whenever you respect each other, I feel like it does bleed out even onto your kids.
Yes.
If they see the respect with you and your partner, it comes natural. It comes almost like a habit for them to say thank you, please,
Right.
and be
Absolutely.
polite. That's why it's so important for you to respect your
Right.
spouse because, again, your kids will reflect who you are as a couple.
Absolutely.
So there's respect in between you and your
So
partner.
in times of arguments or discussions, do not do that in front of your kids. I know that's a very basic, but I mean, in the heat of the moment, it's hard to do. But you have to learn to hold yourself back, respect yourself first of all as a parent to your child, and respect your spouse as being the mother or the father as well. That they need to be respected because if you disrespect them in front of the kids, it's very easy for the kids eventually to begin to disrespect them as well.
Exactly.
So hold those arguments in private away from the kids, but respect each other. Respect what each other does as well, in your professions.
Yeah.
Whatever you do. In our case, my wife stays at home and I hear her sometimes, she feels like she doesn't do as much because she doesn't bring the finances in. But, as her husband, I have to respect the fact that, it is a much tougher job in many senses to do what she does because she's doing it and not getting paid for it. And so I often have to find myself respecting and showing her the respect for what she does in her home as well, and in turns for what she knows the things that I go through at work as well. The long days, I can't tell you how good it makes me feel as a man for her to just respect the fact that she knows sometimes it's been a tough day or it's been a hard day. Or sometimes, guess what, when a paycheck comes home and all goes mainly to all bills, and she has the sensitivity enough to just remind him, hey, it's going to be okay. We know how hard you work for the family, and that alone shows so much support and uplifts me so much as a man. So showing that respect to each other is so key, guys. Point number 3, okay, is be affectionate. Be affectionate. And that doesn't just mean in the physical, but be affectionate in every which way that you can. Meaning, tell each other the things that you feel. Don't just expect them to just know that you love them. Tell them that you love them on a daily basis. Show them that you love them on a daily basis by doing nice things for them. And the big area that even I'll admit as well that I don't do as much at all as we were dating is, the flowers, the gifts, the spontaneous gifts. Yes, do You have to do that, guys. You know, it helps, one, again, keeps the marriage fresh, but two, the respect, and it reminds her that, you know what, your eyes are on her, that you love her. So, but yes.
Being affectionate, yes, you don't have to, it's not just about the physical. You know, because I am a stay at home mom, it's not so easy for me to just get up and go spend X amount of money to go buy something that I wish I could buy for him. But it's the simple things, Um, I know what meals he likes to eat, and on certain occasions, I will make him certain meals, certain cakes that he likes to eat. That I know that he likes, and I've done it. I think I did it on a particular Valentine's that I personally didn't have the money, but I didn't stop me from being able to make a candlelit dinner in our bedroom with music, you know, and made him. I think I made him lobster tail and I made him some red velvet cake. But it's just, just showing him in different ways, you know, um, ironing his uniforms, or packing his lunch. Those are just different ways of saying that I love you and I care about you and I want to take care of you, you know. Be affectionate, and again, don't assume your partner knows how you feel. You've got to express it verbally,
Right.
verbally and physically as well.
And show it. And yes, and then yes, now finally the other side of that is the physical side, guys. Make sure that you spend the time to kiss your wife, kiss your husband. You know what? Hug them. That affectionate. Don't live like brothers and sisters. Okay? Be affectionate towards one another. Okay? Make time to be able to have those special nights. You know, and not just do it just because it's something you have to do or just to
Out
please
of
the other person.
obligation
No,
or
make it special. Make it still a time to where you guys can still enjoy each other. Okay, after all, believe me, God made sex to be something wonderful within the marriage because it unites two people. Where it says the two will become one, and it does bring unity to a marriage like nothing else. Okay, so make those special nights between you and your spouse and enjoy them, enjoy each other. Okay, because that will bring so much uplift to your marriage. Okay,
exactly.
so moving right along. Point number 4, tip number 4, I should say, is communication. My God, guys, communication is key. And, for everyone that says, and nowadays it's for both sides, right? The woman or the man, oh, you're whipped. Well, guess what? That person probably isn't married, and they don't know. It is important for you to keep communication, okay? One, because if each one of you knows what's going on throughout the day, then it leaves no question or begin to have assumptions made, of whatever things may be happening. We call each other multiple times throughout the day, just, hey, how are you doing? And seeing just what you're doing, and then especially nowadays with FaceTime, hey, you're able to call. It's not that we don't even look at it anymore as just like really checking on each other, see what it is that we're doing. It's just we've grown used to it. It's FaceTime. I want to see the kids. She shows me the kids, and she sees I'm in my work truck. We're working, but it's that constant communication, that we have that allows us to never have a doubt of where is he at? Why is he coming home late? Or what is she doing? Why is she not answering?
Or just running to the fact like, oh, well, I didn't know I couldn't spend this, or I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to go to this place. But because there's always open communication
Yes.
amongst the two of you, again, that's another thing that bleeds out into your kids as well. If you're used to having a communication, sorry, if you're used to having communication with your partner, and it shows even into your kids. My son, every time he does something at school or he got certain amount of points at school on class dojo, you know, quick, let's call daddy because I want to, it's just communication, because especially when you have kids,
Yes.
it's so important to have that communication about what's going on so that your partner is aware or any milestones that your kids are going through.
and get used to sharing your feelings. That's
Yeah.
another big side of the communication side is, you know, so many people get used to just holding things inside. It's important that you learn to hash things out then and there.
Yeah.
You know, always like we said earlier, never in front of the kids, but in your private time, never let the sun go down mad at your spouse.
Yeah.
Hash things out, work them out, talk about them, you know, and get it all out in the open, guys. But learn to communicate with each other how you're feeling when you're frustrated. You know, it's amazing how much you get to know a person when you spend so much time with them. You know, I can look at my wife now and like I just by looking at her, I know if something's wrong. I know
Mhm.
if something's on her mind. I know something's bothering her. If she's happy about something, or you know, whatever the case may be. But you know, it's important that you share that with each other. Communication is key.
It is.
Okay, so that is a must, you know, and it can always improve, guys. So the last tip number 5, is back up your spouse, support your spouse. Okay, in everything, in every venture of life that you can, uh, always give each other 100% support. Um, One point I would bring out is especially in correcting the kids.
Mhm.
That's always a big spot, a big point. You know, is that you see so many parents sometimes wanting to butt in the middle of the other parent correcting one of the kids. And one of the things that we've learned is just, you know what, when one of the parents is correcting, the other will either support or just not butt in and let it handle. And then afterwards, you can talk to your child and say, do you understand what happened? Okay, but you support each other in correcting your kids and instructing your kids so that you're in that single communication, and you're in one accord in that aspect as so far as what you want to teach your child. Um,
As well, like whenever your partner wants to do something new or try something new, or they want to um, pursue another career or pursue further education,
mhm.
always back up your spouse. I've always told my husband that no matter what you want to do, I will be there supporting you 100%. You know, I
And
always
that
tell him,
means the world because you know what? It gives me that extra courage and motivation to know that, you know what, if we do this, we're going to do this together.
yeah,
Alone, I may be a little hesitant, but just to know that I have her support makes me feel all that much better. Says, you know what, let's get ready, let's tackle it, let's go for it. On there, so yes, absolutely, support your spouse in every aspect that you can. You know, even in our case right now, you know, on we're focusing a lot on weight loss and getting healthier. You know, she plays a big role in that because she prepares all the food and she keeps us all on a schedule and all that. And I try to offer my support to her. And hey, let's go, let's keep going. You know what? When temptation comes, they want to eat something. Hey, let's keep it in mind. We got a goal in mind, and we push ourselves. You know, or in the middle of the night, hey, let's get up, let's work out. Let's not let the
yeah,
day go by without doing anything. So offer that support as much as you can to your spouse. It means the world. You are their best friend. You are their spouse, their lover, and the person they share their life with. So your support means the world to your spouse. Never forget that. Okay? And never forget to remind them of that and show them how much they mean to you and how much their support means to you. Okay, so guys, I hope these tips were very helpful to you. Again, there are tips that we've implemented, that we've come along through the course of these 18 years that we've been together, that have helped us completely in being able to make our marriage a success and having our kids, you know, be kids that are beautiful kids that look up to us and that are inspired by our story. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to inspire a few of our youth within our church as well, just to be able to hear, you know, that there's a couple that did make it as a high school sweetheart. That always
yeah,
just has a special connotation to it. So we're very proud of that. That God granted us that blessing to be able to live that, you know, and go through that. We met young. You know, I was in her quinceañera. We were in each other's prom, graduation. A lot of the major events of young life we've experienced together. So hope it was helpful, guys. Hope it inspires you. Better your marriage. Be more inspirational. Have better communication, and support your spouse in everything that you can. Okay, remember, guys, as always, you were made to be awesome. Till the next time.
Hi, I'm Joshua. Don't forget to like and share this video and to subscribe to our channel. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.